Joining me now, Danya Perry, former SDNY Assistant U.S. Attorney and former Deputy New York Attorney General. Danya, welcome. Is Bill Barr's argument here a direct rebuttal to Trump's complaints about being indicted over classified documents?
It certainly is. It's been interesting to see Bill Barr's about face from the days when he was, one of the top loyalists and arguably enablers for Trump's Department of Justice, if you will. And so here he is now calling Trump's conduct egregious and saying that justice requires this prosecution is really speaks to, I think, how impactful the conduct was, how potentially dangerous, and how well crafted the indictment is. So I certainly would agree with that assessment.
Let me tick through just a few of the arguments. This is from Trump's legal team and their filing seeking to delay his documents trial beyond the 2024 election. First up, it says there's no reason for any expedited trial, and then it lists these. Legal questions are significant and present issues of first impression. The Presidential Records Act and the various criminal statutes at issue have never been addressed by any court. Propriety of utilizing any secret evidence in a case of this nature, and then potential inability to select an impartial jury during a national presidential election. As you think about all these, are these substantial legal arguments, or is it more of kind of like a wild card, we got nothing to lose type proposal?
I think it's the latter. And I think Special Counsel Jack Smith's team smashed it down pretty handily. I think they pointed out that these issues are not, in fact, novel. The Presidential Records Act is a complete red herring. It is absolutely inapposite, has nothing to do with these proceedings, which are criminal, of course, in nature, and the PRA does not address criminal conduct. And so they very quickly, I think, and concisely and forcefully pushed back on that argument and said, you can't just tag something as novel and then ask, the court to push off a trial date indefinitely on that basis. And they said that this former president should be treated just like any other criminal defendant. Everybody has a schedule, and the fact that this particular defendant is running for election is not a basis. That is, he can work around that. And the administration of justice requires a speedy trial, and that both the defendant and the government, the people, deserve that. And so I think they were very adept in making that argument in its 10-page response.
Yeah. Look, Donald Trump is using things to his advantage here. On the campaign trail, he's now referring to his indictment as, quote, election interference. I mean, he said it again last night in Florida. Do you see a legal strategy emerging behind that concept?
No, that is not legal in nature. That is that is political and perhaps aimed at jury nullification, or even of, kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy that he cannot, or the court cannot impanel an impartial jury because he's out there all the time agitating and raising these issues. And then he's going to say, aha, there is no one in the state of Florida or in the Southern District of Florida who can be impartial in this case and unbiased, and therefore, we should push this off. So I think he's out there making these arguments, but they are not permissible in a court of law. Absolutely, full stop, cannot do.
Given all the wrinkles that need to be ironed out involving a trial, involving classified documents, when do you see this actually going to trial? I know Jack Smith wants it to start December 11. Is it possible?
It's certainly possible. The only real wrinkle here is the procedures. Given that there are classified and highly sensitive documents, there's a certain process that is required under CIPA, the Classified Information Procedures Act. But as the government pointed out in its filing the other day, that can happen in a matter of months. And this is not a document-heavy case, as much as Trump's lawyers have made that argument. The discovery here is not voluminous. It's, as the government pointed out, about 4,500 pages of key documents. Of course, there are other documents that the defense will have to go through. But at the end of the day, when the government and defense lawyers are used to dealing with very document-heavy cases involving gigabytes or terabytes of information. This is not that. And there is now going to be a court-appointed official who can help sort through these issues. And at the end of the day, you know, there aren't that many highly sensitive documents. And this absolutely can be done by the December court date that the government is pushing for.
Okay, Danya Perry, pleasure talking with you. I'll look forward to doing it again. Thank you so much.